wanted a night off before their big interview show tomorrow, and it's so they could chill out and regroup. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to keep going and put a show out on this channel because I was going to do that anyway. It is good to see you all. Glad to be back on Nights with Ping. We have heaps of stories to go through tonight. There is so many to catch up on. We have one out of Australia, actually two out of Australia. The one with the missing girl, Taylor Spees. There's been an update. I'll bring you that later. There's another one. If you remember the story about the guy who was found buried in Dural in Sydney, New South Wales, there's an update in that case. We have an update in the title one. Sophia and Gary Day have been found and located. Sophia is being reunited with her parents tonight. And we have more. We got heaps of stories. We got even more. So there's a lot to get through. It's going to be an action-packed show, but it's been great. It's great to be back. I am very happy after a couple of days off. It's well, not off, but just not here. It's nice to be back on here for a bit. Hey, good to see you all. I hate mornings. Good to have you, Peekaboo. Hey, my friend. Gayla's here. Laura T, I'm so happy to see you back here. I will tell her. I will tell her. Wendy R, yep, we'll show you that in a second. Laurie, how are you? Good to see you. We'll talk about the stabbing at the Texas track meet later on. Hey Sean, good to see you. Snap Crackle. Marilyn Landis, my friend Robbie T's here. April B, Snap Crackle. So no, none of the tornadoes from yesterday, I don't think, have been rated as of yet. The tornado that went through Arkansas is preliminary rated EF3, but apparently they had to leave the area because they didn't have enough time today before the storms impacted the area again to do a full rating. So they're going to be back there in a few days. That's this one right here. This is the one from Arkansas, but there was another one in Tennessee, and if I can find the photo, I'll show it to you. There was one from Tennessee. Is it this one? No. There was another one. It was devastating. Where is it? It's this one. There was one in Tennessee. This one. This one here. This one here was brutal. I can't remember the town it hit. Selma or... Yeah, Selma, Tennessee. This one hit Selma, Tennessee. Could be an EF4 or higher by the time they're said and done. This one here and this one could be both maybe EF4 or higher. They're saying that this one, and I saw it too on the live footage, it showed characteristics of a high-end tornado. And what they mean by that is, you can even see it in this picture. You see this very low collar cloud at the top of the tornado. And it also had these horizontal sort of vortices wrapping around the tornado. And you don't see them. They're really only high-end tornadoes have the power and, rotation needed to produce them. They almost look like tentacles coming off the tornado. So, yeah, not yet, but we'll find out in the next couple of days. There was a storm earlier, but it looks like it was getting undercut by cold air that had a hook echo on it. But I don't think today's been that, that eventful. Yesterday was pretty eventful. It's like 27 tornado reports. Today's there was one. Today you had one. So while it's been a busy day for like hail and wind and things like that, it's not been a busy tornado day. Here's the SPC reports from today. You just see one on that border region up here, just that little red dot in Kentucky. But if you go back by a day, that was yesterday. Look at all those reports all throughout the region. You see all the red dots everywhere. They're all tornado reports. Actually, it got bumped up. 41 tornado reports yesterday. 41. That is an outbreak. That is an outbreak. Not a big one, but still the severity of the tornadoes was pretty bad. Hey, good to see you all. Hey, good to have you. Hey, yeah, it's a bit dark in here. We're gonna have to get a new light. The other light makes it go like a strobing effect. So we're using this one, but it makes me look like I'm telling ghost stories. So it makes me feel like I should be around a campfire telling spooky stories. Yeah. So there you go. Uh, I hope everyone can, I hope everyone's going to be all right. I heard already like 7 people died yesterday in the tornado outbreak, so it's not great. And I told a story on Twitter about one guy in the Selma tornado. Apparently, the guy heard the warning, went to his bathroom, hopped in his bathtub, and by the time that happened, the tornado was already impacting his house. He heard his home getting ripped apart, and the next thing he knew, he was in his neighbor's front yard. His house was gone, and he was basically lying in his neighbor's yard. So, ah, he's lucky to be alive, but his house is no longer there. So, um, yes, I have. Snapcrackle Pop says tomorrow is iffy. We can have a quick look, but then we got to go to tornadoes, true crime things. Yeah, let's reboot into here. Let's go. So let's go to Convective Outlook, day 2, which is tomorrow. What does it say? It's a 15% hatched area, so they're going to be a moderate risk. It's going to be probably not like yesterday, but still pretty bad. What we're going to call it a hatched 15, but it might, if they get up to 20, you might get a high risk day tomorrow. Looks like who's in the hatched area? Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, Conway, Arkansas, Hot Springs, and Texarkana. So those are the places that are going to be really under the gun tomorrow. And then in the 10%, Tyler, Texas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Longview, Texas, Fayetteville, and Jonesboro. So got it. These are the people out tomorrow. This is the area will be most impacted. It's really interesting. You don't normally see these like elongated areas of risk. Normally they sort of pop up and you get a circle or, something like that. But these have all had that slanted motion over the last 3 days. Very stationary, not moving very far to the east. So hopefully tomorrow is not as bad as the other day. All right, let's get on to it. Nanalana said, "You all pray we do not have more bad storms. I didn't sleep all last night. It was so bad here." Yeah, Tennessee was impacted pretty bad overnight, and through the evening hours. Before that, it seemed to be focused on Arkansas and Missouri. They were the ones that had the daytime sort of events. And then as it moved through the night, it moved further north. So I hope everyone's going to be okay tomorrow. All right, let's move on to the title story because it's so good. Anytime we can have a young girl return to her family, and in such a hey, because she's 5 months pregnant now, so she's well on her way through her pregnancy. Now she was taken to a hospital. She is okay. Baby is okay too. Gary Day is in custody waiting to be extradited on those charges. So that is great news. Wait till you hear the story of how they were found. If you haven't heard it yet, it's my favorite thing in true crime when you get people from the community who they stand up when they know something's wrong, and that's all we can ask from our community, right? All right, let's play this video.
Nearly 500 miles from home near Omaha, Nebraska, she was found on her 17th birthday. An Amber Alert was issued for Franklin in February. At the time, she was just 16 and 3 months pregnant. Police say a 40-year-old man Gary Day, the suspect in all of this, is the father of Franklin's unborn child. Investigators say the pair started talking online this time last year. Since February, Amber Alerts were triggered in Wisconsin, Arkansas, and Missouri until last night. Sophia Franklin's mom talked with our Christina Van Zels.
Christina joining us live now. She says her daughter one step closer to coming home.
Yeah, Ben, we talked with Franklin's mom, Leah. She says that her husband is right now making that 7.5-hour drive from here in Beaver Dam to Nebraska to get their daughter. She also says that neither her nor her husband have had a chance to talk to their daughter yet, but we did sit down with her to talk about what's next for their family.
My hope was dwindling.
It was 2 months of uncertainty and dozens of tips that led to dead ends. Leah Franklin's daughter, Sophia, who she calls Sophie, was missing from Beaver Dam since February until Wednesday, Sophia's 17th birthday.
He's like, they found her, and you just start shaking like you can't believe this is really happening.
Wednesday night, investigators say 2 truck drivers spotted Sophia and Day at a truck stop in Nebraska. The truck drivers told investigators something felt off, so they started a conversation with Sophia. Then they searched the internet for alerts for missing people and found Sophia's Amber Alert.
It just took them noticing that something was off in order to find my girl.
Day was arrested and booked into jail in less than an hour. Leah says their next step is to get Sophia acclimated back home in Beaver Dam.
We have a grandbaby coming, and we are wanting to prepare for that and look forward to brighter days ahead. So
it's still not sunken in, her daughter returning home. Leah says despite dwindling hope, she never lost faith.
I say that there's a lot of evil out there, but there's also a terrific amount of good in people.
There is good. They don't talk much about the truck drivers. So the story that I read was they were at a truck stop near Omaha in Nebraska. They were talking to a male truck driver, and a female truck driver saw it and was like, "This is weird. Like, why is there a young pregnant girl at a truck stop with an older guy? And why are they talking to a truck driver?" Like, she thought it was really strange. So she struck up that conversation, went back to her cab when their conversation just didn't make any sense. She went back, Googled around a little bit, and found that Sophia was an Amber Alert and people were looking for her. So they called authorities. They came in. Sophia and Gary Day gave fake identification details to police. Police were like, "Well, there's nothing in our system for either of you." And the cop was like, "Hey, we have some technology that we can use to solve this situation." So I didn't know this. They have a mobile fingerprint scanner, and I think it's called like Althea, and they can mobile print people. So you put your fingerprint or your thumb on it, and it scans your fingerprint and then goes through all the files and subpoenas, warrants, and looks for you. And when they scanned Gary Day, it popped up with all his warrants that he was charged over Sophia. So then they put 2 and 2 together and went, "Oh, that girl that's with him that's pregnant is probably Sophia." And that's how they were found, in a truck stop in Omaha, Nebraska. The interesting detail, I know a lot of people are wondering, like, what is their home life like between Sophia, her mum, and all that. I know a little tiny bit. I spoke to someone who's friends with Sophia. I I, I can just tell you that there's obviously some relationship problems. I don't know how deep they are. I just know that there is. Because it's interesting. The father drove out to Nebraska to go get Sophia, not the mum. I don't know if that means anything. Just I noticed that in the reporting that it's the dad that's going out there to get her. Hopefully this is a big wake up call to everyone, the parents, the daughter, everyone, and maybe they can build some bridges in whatever familial, disputes that they're having, and try and move along and bring this baby into the world and be supportive of each other. and not have another Amber Alert that goes on for like 11 weeks. That would be good because, at one point, I don't think any of us were sure that this was going to be a happy ending. I think some of us thought, well, it's really stretching on. No one's seen them for a number of, weeks now, since early February. Like, where are they? And they popped up in Nebraska. So, Nalana says, I hope so too, Ping. She will need help from her parents. Yeah, she'll need help from a lot of people. Her parents, the community. She'll need probably understanding from people, that type of thing. Marlene says 17-year-olds and mums often have different views. Yeah, I don't think this is like a short-term thing. I think this has been going on for a period of time. How long, I'm not quite sure, but I just know that they've had, I can't think of the greatest word for it, but just friction. There's just been friction is the word I would call it. I wouldn't say it's like a complete breakdown, but just they've just been at odds on several different things. But I think they do care about her a lot. Joe Neal says she probably should be elsewhere, not with the parents. She'll be 18, not in about a year. So wait, is it? No, she's 18 today, right? She's 17 when she went missing. Would she be 18 today if that's her birthday today? I think so. She can make her own decisions from today, which is very interesting. But we'll see. We'll see. It's up to her. It's up to her. It's her life. I get 17 today, so she was 16 before. Okay. So she's got about a year. They've got a year to figure it out. They've got a year to, do whatever. And in a year's time, her baby will almost be 1. So if she continues and has a great pregnancy, has a healthy baby, in about this time next year, her baby will be about 9 months old. So she can then probably make a better educated decision on what her future needs to be. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get an update when the baby is like 5 years old or something. We'll see it in the paper. Well, they've been reporting her as 17 for ages, and I was like, wait, if it's her birthday today, wouldn't that make her 18? I don't know why they've been reporting her as that for a while. Probably because it's so close to her 17th birthday. Nalana says, yeah, it's pretty brutal. Hey, Justice Jane, good to see you. But a great end. I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, these stories can end so much worse. We could have been going, oh, they found like a teenager pregnant girl in a ditch in freaking Wyoming, and they took 9 months to ID her, but now we know it's Sophia Franklin. Like, I don't want to read that story. I don't think you guys want to hear it either. So to get a resolution like this where Gary Day is going to go to prison, he won't have access to her, at least for the time being. Sounds like he's on some pretty serious charges. Hopefully that means there'll be a disconnect between Sophia and her groomer. And it means that maybe she can move on with her life, and maybe that disconnection will help her move on from whatever hold that Gary Day has on her. That would be good. And then she can raise this baby and be a good mum. Sure she will be. I'm sure she will be. The state needs to be involved. Why? I think they're already involved. That's why they did an Amber Alert. Normally they come from the police, right? So I'm pretty sure they're pretty involved. There was already a no contact order between Gary Day and Sophia Franklin. So I'm going to guess they're already pretty involved. Kathy Lynch says, well, you'll see. Hopefully not. Carlisa said, hi, Ping, everyone. Great to be here. Miss you all. Great to see you too, my friend. Yeah, the storms are pretty bad. I'm glad that there was no giant tornadoes today. I'm glad that didn't happen. Yeah, that's it. That's it for Sophia Franklin. I don't think we're going to hear too much more, although we may hear a little bit when Gary Day is extradited back to face charges in other states. So we may hear more about that in the future. But about Sophia, maybe not, because she's still considered underage. So we may not hear too much more about her. I do have an interesting update that I wanted to bring you about another missing woman. This one's not as young as Sophia, but that doesn't matter. Do you all remember a woman called Taylor Spees? Do you remember we spoke about her? She's missing from Queensland, Australia. And she was missing from like an outback region in Queensland. Do you remember about a month ago we spoke about her going missing? I showed you the area. I showed you sort of the different roads that she could have taken. Well, there is an update, but it's not the update you think. It's a very strange update, and it doesn't help in finding her, but I will tell you about it. They're saying there's a bombshell development, very sensationalist media, in the case of missing Queensland mum Taylor Spees after cops discover her abandoned ute or truck. They're saying wait, what? Oh, this is new. When I read it an hour ago, they just found the vehicle. So you're getting breaking news here. They're saying human remains have been discovered just 1 kilometer from where police located the abandoned vehicle of a Queensland mum who vanished over 2 months ago. Investigators searching for Taylor Spees discovered the 29-year-old's 2017 Toyota Hilux near Norindu, a town 460 kilometers west of Brisbane, about 3 p.m. on Thursday. They're saying the Hilux was found at a Yalebo Surat Road property about 5 minutes drive from where the young mum was last seen. According to the Detective Chief Inspector Gary Watts told a press conference on Friday, human remains had been located 1 kilometer from the vehicle. Ay, ay, ay. Actually, it says there was a press conference. This all must have happened by the time we went live and now, because earlier we just heard about the vehicle. Yeah, about half an hour ago. Half an hour ago. All right, let me see if I can find that press conference where they talk about this. Hold on. Let me see. Gary Watts, Queensland Police. Yeah, because I want to watch it too. That's very sad that she was so close to where she went missing, yet no one found her in like 2 months. I mean, I know it's a rural area, but very, very sad. Just trying to see if they have a video or press conference up here. I'm going to go to ABC. Normally the ABC does press conferences if they have it. I don't see it. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to try and scrub through this and have a look. Odd, but I don't see one. I don't see a live press conference. So I don't know if it was a closed media one. Sometimes, unfortunately, that does happen. Yeah, I'm going to go to the Courier Mail. They don't even have it. So maybe it was a closed press conference. Yeah, they're saying here police located the human remains about 1 kilometer from where the vehicle of missing mother Taylor Spees was found on a remote Queensland property. They say Miss Spees' utility and her belongings, including the pink shirt she was wearing when she was last seen 8 weeks ago, were found on a property not connected to her on Thursday. According to the Detective Chief Inspector Gary Watts, he said human remains were located. Why so far from the vehicle? Did she just park the car and walk off? He says, although we cannot confirm at this stage that those remains are Taylor, we suspect that they are. Sad. Really sad. That's not what we were hoping for. They said after months of searching, police on Friday revealed the white Toyota was found at the property on April 3, so yesterday. Emergency services were called to the property about 3 p.m. after reports the ute matching the description of one Taylor was last seen in was located. Detectives confirmed the ute was hers after locating property that was believed to be hers inside the vehicle. An initial search was conducted of the surrounding area, but they failed to find her, and they said search efforts are expected to continue Friday morning, and then they did locate her. So they located her earlier today. So that's where they found her, up here, April 3, and she was last seen Sunday, February 1. She was last seen here. So she was found really off the beaten track. She was supposed to follow a road and go up into the right-hand corner of this picture up here, but she ended up out here, which is very Surat property, Nurundu. All right, let's have a look. Nurundu. That's not what I want. I'm just trying to see if I can find the property. Yeah, that's very, I mean, it's very vast out here. How can I get rid of this? All right, give me a second, guys, and I'll show you the map. All right. So she was last seen in the town here in Surat, right? The road she took is not this one. I think they thought she might have been on this road here, but it sounds like she was on a complete up here near Norindu on the Surat Highway. That's over here. So she was actually found off this road, the Uliba Surat Road. So she was off this highway, not this one, not the Carnarvon Highway, which is what we thought originally. But if you look out here and you look at some of the properties like on this road, I guess if you were here and the property owners don't check the area that often, like you can drive in through here, get into the bushland. Maybe no one would ever, you know, get into somewhere like at the bottom of someone's property. They may never find you, or take a long time. Like, look how big some of this area is. They did say originally that she may be near the state forest. I remember they said that originally, but she was further south. But yeah, I'm guessing it, yeah, if you just were here, yeah, they may take months or years to ever find you, because probably people don't come through here that often. That is, yeah, that is very sad. Not the ending. I think there was some suggestion she might have run away or needed a break from her life. It doesn't sort of seem like that. It seems like maybe it was worse than that. It is very remote. It's very rural. Yeah, I don't know. She had children, 3 children. I don't know if she was married, but I know she had some sort of relationship. I don't know too much about who she was seeing at the time she went missing. That is very, very sad. You know, it's interesting because when you see her on that CCTV footage, it doesn't look like a woman who's about to go off and, you know, not be with us anymore. It just seems like someone going about their day, and it just shows you how tricky those type of cases can be. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can find anything else about how she was located and why they got called to that property. I don't see bombshell development. Yeah, I don't see anything to say why they went out there. They just said investigators searching for her discovered the 29-year-old's Toyota Hilux near Nurundu, uh, which is that area I just showed you on the map. They said the Hilux was found at that Yuliba Surat Road property, about 5 minutes drive from where the young mum was last seen. 5 minutes, hey? So that's down here. So it's got to be like round here. So if they're saying 5 minutes from where she was last seen, it's got to be somewhere right here. Because any further is not 5 minutes. It's got to be somewhere around here. Which I'm not trying to show you the exact point. I'm just trying to figure out what the lay of the land looks like. But yeah, like if you were driving on this road and pulled in here and got into the back somewhere here, maybe even the farm owner wouldn't even find you or even notice that you were there. You know, if you pulled into some of these back areas, they may not use these roads all that often. Maybe they only use it during fire season to, you know, deforest the land a bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me take you back to this one. Can I open that in a... Yep, there we go. So there's that map. Last seen down here and then found up here. Let's see if we can go. So that, okay, so she was last, that's the road we were just on, just here. So that's where she was last seen. She was found all the way, okay, up here. So this was that road that I was just showing you on the map, right where this big black dot is. She was found even north of that. That's not 5 minutes from town. Yeah. So she was found really far inland. Quite a distance. How she got there? I mean, obviously she drove, but quite a far away. Yeah, she had a business. She just started a new operation, like a career type business. Had a lot going for her. Yeah, so sad for her children, right? Young kids who won't have their mum anymore. It's very sad. Let me try and take you back to when she first went missing, so people who haven't been following can get sort of a, you know, what it was like.
5,000 square kilometre area to cover with no sign of Taylor Spees or her car.
The pain and enormity of her absence increases with each day that passes, and the worry is consuming us all.
The 29-year-old has been missing for 3 weeks and her birthday has come and gone. She was last captured on camera leaving a motel in Surat on February 2 before turning onto Cordelia Street in her white Toyota Hilux later that morning. The car's number plate is 559GJ7.
We have no knowledge if anybody has spoken to her since then, has seen her, and we have no knowledge if she is okay.
We still hold grave concerns to her health and safety.
Police are looking around the areas to the east and south of Roma, down to Miandara.
We've had police aerial assets, we've had police trail bike riders, we've had investigators and intel officers all working together in an attempt to track down where Taylor may be.
She has brown hair and blue eyes, with the word karma tattooed across her chest.
Sissy, if you're watching this, I want you to know that you are so loved and cherished by so many people.
Tom Duffy, 7 News.
It sounds like that she would never have seen that news report with her family in it. It sounds like she was gone by the time that news report came out with the family appeal. She was already not alive. It sounds like very shortly after she was last seen on CCTV. It sounds like she may have died. It is very sad. and it's bizarre. I don't really get it. Could she have planned this? Like, I don't wanna I wanna be sensitive to the family. I don't wanna be like, "Oh, did she go out there with a 12 gauge shotgun?" Like, no, no, no. I just wonder, like, the dynamics of how that worked. Is it something she planned? Was it spur of the moment? Was like, 'cause maybe she went out there to, I don't know, meditate or get away. Could she have been bitten by a snake? There's a lot of poisonous reptiles that are out there. A lot of snakes that'll kill you if you get bitten by them. Could she have gone out there to do a bit of like soul searching and got bit by a poisonous reptile? Like, I don't know. I just trying to think of all possible options because it seems weird, right? They found the car, but they found her over a kilometer away. That's quite a distance from the vehicle. That's not, 10 feet away. It's ages ages away from the ute. Yeah, we'll wait for the autopsy. Autopsy and how the body was found in situ will tell a lot. Will we hear any of it? Maybe. Depends. Let's see. What's 1 kilometer in American money? Okay. So 1 kilometer is like 3,280 feet. So if you know feet as a measurement, then there you go. So about 3,280 feet from her vehicle. So not super close, pretty far away. Yeah, that bit really, I want to know why she was so far away. I just want to have a look. So that's that road, and they're saying that she was found. So yeah, that's that road. And then, okay, so go here and then up here. Go here and up here. They're saying that she was found like up here. If I can, hold on, guys. I'll get to it. My maps are playing up. Okay, so that's the road. Wait, sorry, I'm just trying to line it up with the photo that they've given. Go down and inland a bit. So it's this way. Da, da, da. I can't quite figure it out. I can't figure out if it's that road or that one. I'm guessing it's got to be this one. But if what they're saying is correct, that she was found somewhere like up here, up around this area. Now there's a property up here. They're saying the landowner didn't know anything about it. How would she have gotten in here? Well, there is a road, but it's the wrong highway. Is there any other way to get into here from this road? No, not from there. I mean, maybe if she came in through here and then somehow drove across through here, you would think the property owner would have seen her, but yeah, you can get to it from the other side. I mean, there's a property right here where people live. So if she was found somewhere on this giant property, I mean, maybe they just don't check it. Like maybe they only check the parts where they have like farm animals, like cattle or beef or whatever. Maybe they only check those areas or where they have crops or like this is obviously a growing field here. Maybe they only check those regions of their land. I don't know. Pretty strange. Hey DJ, how you feeling, buddy? 5 to 10 minute walk. Yeah, it's about a 5 to 10 minute walk. I just don't know why you would abandon the vehicle like that. If you're say your thing is to, not be with us anymore, wouldn't you just stay in the car and do it and self-contain within the car? I mean, I'm not guessing, like I'm not trying to second judge anyone's things. I just why move away from the vehicle, especially that far? Like 20 meters or whatever away from the car, I sort of understand, but a kilometer away, bit strange. So basically a little over American a mile. Yeah, that's correct. All right. I really don't have too much more other than that. That's all they've released right now out of that press conference. But we had some great news with the other story. This one not so great. Not the ending I think any of us would have liked. It sounds like her family may have had some inkling that she may have not been having the greatest time. When you hear that press conference that they did where they're like, if you need a break, that's okay. It sounds like they may have known that she was struggling a little bit. There's a photo of her, by the way. That's a nice photo of Taylor. There's another one. And that's from the CCTV. Yeah, car discovered. Yeah, let's see this map. It's this. So that road's this road. Okay. That's what I was wondering on the map. So it's this road up here. So that's not far from where she was last seen, actually. One of the reports that came out early on, if you go back to my early videos, one of the places they reported that she was last seen was the Carnarvon Highway and the Cottamine Highway. And they said this point here was either the last point they picked up on her phone or whatever. They've known that for like quite a long time. So she was found, if I look at that map again, where's that map? So the car was discovered just a little further up. Okay. So her car was discovered just up here somewhere. There is a little access road right here. So maybe they found her somewhere in this property. There is a little farmhouse here too. She wasn't that far from people. So yeah, somewhere over here they found her vehicle. And then she was 1 kilometer somewhere in this circumference from that vehicle. Brutal. Brutal that she was so close to people. Yeah, just up from there. Yeah, it has to be that. Has to be that little side road. Ah. Yeah. So just up here. Yeah. Has to be this. Must be where they found the vehicle because when you look on the map, it's just a tick up. So 1 kilometer from here could be like out here somewhere, out anywhere out here in this kind of flat, uh, you know, region. How that car stayed hidden for so long when they knew that her phone pinged off this location and they found the vehicle like just up here. That's interesting because they said they had searchers out here on motorbike and helicopter searching in this area, and somehow they missed the vehicle just up here and then missed her body. I mean, a body you can understand, especially against this backdrop. You imagine you're flying in a helicopter and you have to look at this and you have to try and spot a person who may be deceased. That would be very difficult with the backdrop, right? And then, but the vehicle is interesting that they didn't spot it up here. There is a gate here. It looks like a gate. Looks like you could drive around it though. I don't know if there's a fence, but it doesn't look that secure. Why she wanted to go out here, I don't know. Sorry. Sorry, I was trying to scan around and look for other places. There's more info on ABC Australia. We can have a look. Hold on, Taylor. This one? I think it's the same one that we already read. Yeah. The discovery was made by a ground search team about 1 kilometer from the vehicle, which was parked on a private rural property. Yeah, we already knew that. Complete forensic examination will need to be conducted to verify that a full forensic examination of the area where the remains were found will now be undertaken. They said officers were called to the rural property about 3 p.m. yesterday after a white dual cab Toyota Hilux matching the description of Miss B's car was found by the property owner. Ah, so it was the property owner that ended up finding her. I was about to say it's strange that it would just be called in by some random person, because like people that own these properties tend to look on them like, you know, when you live in the outback or um, like the country, half your job in life in owning that type of property is checking your property. Like that's basically what they do. They said the car about 2 kilometers into the property off the Yaleba-Surat Road, which backs onto the Yaleba State Forest, was locked, but the interior was not in disarray. A pink shirt like the one Miss Spees was wearing the last time she was seen was inside, so she wasn't wearing her shirt anymore? Okay. Along with a bag believed to be containing her belongings. They said at present we haven't entered the vehicle because they want forensic to enter the vehicle. The vehicle was examined yesterday and it's being towed back to Roma now. So they said, wait, one Coulter property off the Yaleba Surat Road in Nurundu. But the map shows it on the other side of the property. It's weird how they like the map shows it on the Carnarvon Highway. The other road is over. It's like over here. It's over here. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. But she was found on one of those properties. Hey BC, good to see you, my friend. Hey Vegemite Smile, good to have you again. Well, thankful for the property owner. Thankful that they're the ones who ended the mystery. I really am. Yeah, here they said the police are now reviewing footage from a previous aerial search of the area to determine how long the car might have been there. Because I remember when she went missing, not only did the police bring out a helicopter, I'm pretty sure there was a volunteer who brought up a helicopter and searched that area. So it's odd that two different people, maybe more, that were flying helicopters in the region looking for a white pickup truck didn't find it, and then all of a sudden they found it. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I missed a line. I did. Here. Yeah, I did miss a line. Thank you. They said, yeah, officers were called. Yeah, he told police he hadn't been there any longer than 12 days. 12 days. That would make sense because they, my voice, hold on. I need a drink. All right. That would make a lot of sense because the aerial searches happened in early February. They did the police, and I think the police did a couple after too, but the main ones with the police and the volunteer all happened within the first 2 weeks of her going missing, which was in early February. So if that is the case, if they review that surveillance footage from the from the aerial search, and they don't see that vehicle there, and they don't see her in that footage now that they know the location, that's very strange. It's very odd. I Hate Morning said it's definitely strange the property owner thinks it was there 12 days or less ago. Well, they probably do, like I said, when you own those properties, that's your life. Like, you are always checking your boundaries. You're always looking at like your fencing so your animals can't get out, so predators can't get in. That's like your whole life of living in a rural area. So the property owner probably knows the last time they checked their boundary or went to that area to do something on the property. So they're probably saying, like, 12 days ago, I was in that area. We were cutting down trees or, doing burning work, like burning back bushland or whatever, and there was nothing there. So that is very interesting. That is another story we will talk about tonight about the Glenori guy. Yeah, I have that update. She probably wasn't there during the initial search. Doesn't seem like it. That's Yeah, because how would you miss it by 2 helicopters, knowing the last ping location from her phone, and then everyone just going, "No, there's no white truck here. I don't know, we didn't find one." That's Doesn't make any sense to miss the ping. Maybe someone kidnapped her and took her truck back to the place they already searched, thinking they wouldn't go back and find her. It's pretty clever. I mean, the other option is, could she have gone on the run for several weeks and then decided that the pressure was getting too much and tried to go back to home or go back to maybe where she was last seen, and so she would be found? I mean, it's just the opposite side of the coin. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm just giving my thoughts. Vegemite Smile said, "Okay, I can share when you get to it." Okay, good. We'll talk about it. I actually went to school in Dural, so I actually know the area a little bit. Um, yeah, I wanna see that aerial footage. I hope, Queensland Police release the camera footage of their aerial search, where the car was found. Not where the body was found, but where the car was found. That's concerning. Yeah, because that's weird. 12 days ago. 12 days ago, what would that be? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Saturday. So they're saying it can't have been there before the 22nd of March. That's almost when did she go? That's almost 2 months after she initially went missing. So in that whole 2-month time frame that she went missing, that car, the property owner is saying that it wasn't there. That it only it only turned up recently. That's a long period of time. A long period of time. Yeah, I hope to find out more. Hope to find out more about what that means to the investigation. Did they call in homicide? Detective Inspector Gary Watts. I really wish they'd post this press conference so we could all hear it. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. Maybe it's on the QPS website. Let me go to Queensland Police. They have like a media section, so we could have a look. Community news, no. Cyclone Alfred, nope. Latest QPS videos. Their last video was a month ago. That's not going to help us. No, I don't know why this particular press conference is not on video. If it comes out, I will bring it to you so we can watch it together. I will check one last place and then we'll move on. But yeah, that's a heartbreaking update for the family and her children. No update on the ABC either. They didn't do, like, sometimes they do like a live briefing, but they did not do one here. Just having a quick look to see if they live streamed it but didn't post it yet. No, I don't see one, unfortunately. If I do get that, I'll bring it to you at a later time. Jonna said meeting someone then got abducted, possibly? Maybe. Ringo says you'd think if she was on the run, they'd have documentation on her phone pinging elsewhere. Unless she knew it could be tracked and got rid of it. I mean, most people know that kind of information now, that cops can do that. Jonna said meeting someone then got abducted. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, we'll find out more. I'm sure they're going to tell us more when they have it. Yeah, all right. I'm going to move on. If we get that press conference, I will either post it on the channel as a standalone video, or I will come back and do a live stream and we'll watch it together. All right. I want to do the one out of Dural, since Vegemite Smile wants to talk about it too. So we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. There was a big police operation out there. And I told you they arrested someone over the death of Johnny Birch. Do you remember this? And they found his half-buried body out in that region. So it was about a couple of weeks ago. I just want to find that original video so we can all do like a catch-up. Yes, from here. Yeah, so let me take you back to when this originally happened.
Good evening. The identity of a man found dead in a paddock at Glenorrhea in Sydney's northwest has been revealed. The father wasn't a local, but visited the area. And tonight, detectives believe he might have been run down by a ute before he was partially buried.
A father, a friend, 39-year-old John Birch meeting a brutal end. His body found under a tarp in a Glenorrhea paddock.
It's sad for anybody to have to end their life in such a tragic way.
Tonight, he's being remembered by those who knew him best. A big character with a bigger heart.
If he liked you, he would give you the world if he could. You know, if he had it, he shared it.
Police and John's partner, who had reported him missing, locating the body yesterday morning. Detectives are working off the theory he was run down by a ute on Glennis Place only a few hours earlier. Neighbours heard the bang.
It was up on the corner of Caddo Ridge Road and Glennis. There was a bang early in the morning.
John didn't live there, but he was a regular at the house 100 metres down the road. It's been picked apart for the last 24 hours, detectives and forensics collecting evidence, as the three people arrested there yesterday were questioned overnight, one of them appearing asleep in the back of a police car. But they've all been released without charge.
Glenorrhy used to be called Glen Snorri because it's a very chilled out place.
In just another layer to this story, a person tried and failed to break into the home overnight. Authorities confident they knew the occupants were in custody and were on the hunt for drugs and cash. So tonight, no charges, and loved ones want justice and need help. Kerry.
So not only did they hit and run the guy, they then buried him in the backyard. And while the house was being searched and they were detained over that, someone tried to break into their property and look for drugs and cash. The hell? What is going on at this place? Vegemite Smile, tell me more about it. Vegemite Smile says, my mom knows the people who own the property where the body was found. They also know the alleged killer's family. Mom saw all the police cars racing to search for the suspect. What is the family known in the area? Are they known as these type of like were they known as drug dealers or that type of thing? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like from the media report that they were quite well known. Yeah, it is. So there was an update today. So they've been progressively laying the charges against those people that they arrested. And then today, the update came out that I think it's a third person has been charged over the death of Johnny. Yeah. They say major update after man found half buried and wrapped in a tarpaulin in a Sydney backyard in Sydney. Second person. They say a second person has been charged in connection with the alleged murder of a man whose body was found wrapped in a tarpaulin in a suburban backyard last month. Police began inquiries into the death of Johnny Birch, 39, after his half-buried body was discovered on a property in Glenorrhy in Sydney's northwest on March 14. They say a 35-year-old woman was arrested at the property on Thursday and taken to Castle Hill Police Station, where she was charged with accessory after the fact to murder and larceny accessory before the fact. She was refused bail and will appear in Parramatta Local Court on May 29th. The woman is the second person to be charged in connection with his death. The update comes after the 24-year-old man was arrested at a property in Glenorrhy on March 23rd, 9 days after Johnny's body was discovered. The man was charged with murder and remains before the courts. Birch's family reported him missing on March 13, 2 days before a cousin found his body in a paddock wrapped in a tarp. It's brutal. They say the unidentified relative said a cousin of Birch found his body after becoming worried about him. He'd been missing for a short time and they went looking for him. They obviously knew something about where he was going. The family said Birch had a criminal past and had been to prison a few times. He had a few issues, a relative said. He was a good family man, but what he did outside of family was a bit shaky. Before the most recent arrest, two men aged 24 and 34 and a 35-year-old woman were arrested at the scene. They were taken to Castle Hill Police Station and released pending further investigation. So there you go. There's a photo of Johnny. Not a very good one, but there's a photo nonetheless. Vegemite Smile said, yeah, I think they have a bit of a reputation for being a bit weird. Yeah, burying bodies in your backyard in a tarpaulin after hitting the person. Yeah, I think that class is a bit weird. Just a little bit. What an awful story. But yeah. I'm glad they're finally starting to piece it together and find out who to arrest. I mean, I don't think if you go to any of our backyards that we've got half buried people, just sitting there. It's very strange. All right. So second person arrested on that one. All right. I want to go back to America if I can. So I want to talk to you about Carmelo Anthony. So if you do know who Carmelo Anthony is, or do you know who Austin Metcalf is? If you've heard of this story, you'll find out more in a second. If you've not heard of it, you will find out even more in 1 minute. Let me grab this video. That is not the right one.
This morning, Frisco Memorial High School honored the student who was stabbed to death at a track meet yesterday. Police say 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was killed by a Frisco ISD student. Metcalf's father hopes the incident leads to security changes. Alex.
Hi, Clarice. During second period today, all Frisco ISD schools took a moment to really acknowledge Austin Metcalf's life. I'm told also that district and campus counselors were on hand today to help students and staff process exactly what happened yesterday. Now, police still have not said how that knife got into the stadium. Meanwhile, Metcalf's mother and twin brother spoke on Fox News this afternoon.
I pushed my hand up there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. Hunter Metcalf described his twin brother Austin's final moments as he lay dying in his brother's arms. On Wednesday, Memorial High School junior Austin Metcalf was stabbed to death while attending a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco, and many questions remain unanswered. Police say 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, who attends Centennial High School, stabbed Metcalf in the chest in the stands. Metcalf's father believes the fight started over a seating dispute.
I pray that, maybe there's changes made as far as security or things like that, and maybe we can learn from this and try to turn a tragedy into something positive to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else's child. I don't want parents to feel like I feel today.
So to break into it, I actually heard that the Camelo's father said to the media that his son didn't deliberately kill anyone and that it was a heat of the moment thing. Well, buddy, I'm not sure about that. Why was your son carrying a knife to a high school like track meet? What did he think there was going to be there? Some sort of like brawl or a melee or something? Like, why on earth were you carrying a knife in the first place? That's the only question. Like, there should be no one carrying a knife to a track and field meet. From what I understand is they walked up to that other young kid and they said, "Oh, basically, oh, you're sitting in the wrong seat. This is like our seat." And after that, he pulled a knife and stabbed the victim in the chest and killed him. So you took someone's life over a seat. I have a feeling there are bigger problems in the world that you could kill someone over rather than a seat. You could have just said no. You could have just said, okay, I'm moving to a different area. Why did it have to end with you putting a knife into someone's chest? I see a lot of people here saying that it's only being reported in the media because the perpetrator is black. Now, I don't believe that. I think it's due to the stupidness of it that there's no need for this, and it wouldn't matter if the person was from an Arabic nation, from England, Australia, China, Japan, America, like from freaking Alaska. I don't think it matters. I think it's the situation which is getting the media coverage. BC said shouldn't have been on school grounds, all sitting under the tent. Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be, something that you gather together and, team spirit and that type of thing. Yeah, brought a knife to I don't understand that personally. Let me just look up Austin Metcalf. There's another video I wanted to show you. So they're saying here that NBC5 obtained new information on Wednesday's fatal stabbing during a high school track meet in Frisco. The attack claimed the life of Austin Metcalf, 17, of Frisco. An arrest warrant details the moments officers arrived on scene and what witnesses say happened leading up to the deadly confrontation. According to one of the responding officers, the suspect, Camelo Anthony, 17, admitted to stabbing Austin, claiming self-defense. When an officer referred to Anthony as the alleged suspect, Anthony reportedly responded, "I'm not alleged, I did it." According to the arrest report, the tragic event began with the suspect sitting under another team's pop-up tent as rain fell Wednesday morning and was told to move. According to police, the two students from different high schools began fighting. A witness told police that Anthony unzipped a bag he had, reached inside, telling the victim, "Touch me and see what happens." A short time later, the report says Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest. The murder suspect ran away before being arrested by responding officers. According to reports, Anthony told the officer, "I was protecting myself. He put his hands on me." So why not just move? I mean, I get it if it was in some sort of like segregation type way and they're like, "Oh, this is racist and we're kicking you out of our white person tent or something." I would understand a bit more, but just being told to move because it's for the team or whatever, I think the victims could have maybe handled it slightly differently too. Why not be friends with everyone and just be like, "It's cool, bro. You can sit here too." That type of thing. Like, does everything have to be all macho and this is our team? And, try and make friends in life instead of trying to punch on all the time. Yeah, it's no, not the basketball player. I don't know why a millionaire is hanging out at track and field. Uh, no, it's a child with the same name. All right, let's watch this video.
Deadly stabbing at a track meet in Frisco. In an arrest report obtained by NBC5, the suspect reportedly told police that he acted in self-defense. The new information comes as outrage grows over the senseless killing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Our Meredith Yeomans visited a Frisco restaurant with a close connection to the victim's family.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Halo Pizzeria in Frisco
18-inch heritage, no mushrooms.
is where food and family mix.
It's just really, there's no words to describe how just heartbroken like our family is over this. Have a great day.
Carrie Ordas is co-owner of the restaurant where Megan Needham worked alongside her twin sons, Hunter and Austin Metcalf.
You know, Mama Megan, she is just like your classic mom. You know, she took the job as a second income to help, pay for the boys, with all the football and different sports that they were doing.
All she says, so the twins could achieve their dreams that were dashed for Austin in a matter of minutes.
The devil just needed a foothold in that day, and he saw it and he took it.
At a track meet at Kirkendall Stadium Wednesday morning, Frisco police say Austin was stabbed by 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony. A newly released arrest report details how a tense situation escalated when Austin told Anthony he was sitting under the wrong tent. A short time later, the report says Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move and that Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest.
It was just so unnecessary.
The report says a school resource officer from Staley Middle School next door was first on scene. It says Anthony told the officer, quote, "I was protecting myself. He put his hands on me." And when the officer announced he had the alleged suspect, the report says Anthony responded, quote, "I'm not alleged. I did it."
I woke up and thinking it was just kind of a dream and not real.
I get protecting yourself. If you wanted to protect yourself, then fight with your hands. If that's what you want to do and you think they're being aggressive, then defend yourself. But don't stab someone in the chest over a seat under a freaking tent. Like, I get it. There's a thing about protecting your space and your boundaries and things like that. Don't get picked on. You fine, I understand that bit, I do. But you don't draw a knife out of a bag and stab someone in the chest. You want to defend yourself, you want to fisticuffs, whatever, fine. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense to pull a knife. Why was a knife even there? Like, that's the big question. Why are you walking around with a freaking blade? What is this, London? Are you a part of a drill gang? Is this what's going on? Like, it doesn't really compute. Haven't we all seen enough episodes of Degrassi Junior High to know that you don't take knives to school? Jojo says you can't be in the opposing team's tent and listen to the game plan. Everyone knows that. Yeah, that's often with sport. Senseless. Agreed. That's not a solution to it. No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. Like, if he's like, I'm protecting myself, fine. You want to get in a fight or whatever, sure. Whatever your prerogative is, you'll probably get thrown out. But the knife thing doesn't make any sense. Like, why is that your first instinct is to grab a blade? I never really understood that with people. So many of these things could just be walk away. Yeah, like, if you're not allowed to be in the tent, then you're not allowed to be in the tent. End of story. Mamma Mia said, it's sad kids don't knuckle up anymore. I know. Isn't that the whole thing? Or we got to do everything with weapons now? Joe Neal says Degrassi. Yeah, I love Degrassi. Vegemite Smile says, love Degrassi when I was a kid. Me too. I love Degrassi. Degrassi Junior High. Man, how sad was everyone when the like Degrassi burned down at the end? Oh my god. I remember watching that. I remember watching that like ABC when I was a kid. And they're like, that's it from Degrassi for this season. And that was the final episode. And I was like, wait, the final episode? The school burnt down. What do you mean that's the final episode? We have to find out what's going on. Yeah, I love Degrassi, man. You like DeGrasse Tyson? I don't think that's the same thing. Rachel said, I feel so bad for his family. Apparently the kid had a lot going for him. Had offers from D1 schools for sport, for his, for his athletic achievements, and was going to go to a good college, and now he will never do that. Jonelle said, yeah, I can't repeat that, buddy, but I get it. I get the sentiment. That's almost a little racist. Almost. It might be somewhat of a fact, but it's also a tinge with racism. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why people carry knives. It happens here too. With our stricter gun control down here, people carrying knives is out of control. Like, there's so many teenagers that carry a knife down here. It's almost like you expect it. If I showed you the photos of what police confiscate from teenagers, you would be shocked. Actually, let's show you. Let's see if I can find, like, yeah, here. No, not that one. Yeah, let's go to here for a sec.
Have been seized from a Dandenong factory as police attempt to slash Melbourne's knife crime epidemic. Despite public perception, most stabbings involve adults, but officers are turning their attention towards youth offenders. Crime reporter Gillian Lantouris has this exclusive report.
Machetes, zombie knives, meat cleavers and samurai swords. It's frightening to think this cache of weapons was once in the hands of members of the public. Now they've been taken off our streets.
One stabbing is one too many.
They're just some of the blades seized by Victoria Police after a record bust in Dandenong, where 930 weapons were found at a warehouse, ready to be delivered to those wanting to cause harm.
Potentially sold to young offenders.
Officers have slashed knife crime by 3.6% since 2023.
It's a split second, and a young person's life or an adult's life is ended in a moment.
And sadly, we've seen that time and time again. 23-year-old model Nathan Mwanza was stabbed to death at a Wyndham Vale bus stop, allegedly by a 17 and 22-year-old. And last year, 16-year-old Oscar Hamilton was fatally stabbed at a Melton shopping centre. A 15-year-old boy, his alleged attacker.
Our message is very clear that we will be targeting those people who carry and use knives.
Last year, police seized nearly 15,000 knives and blades, almost 2,000 more than in 2023.
Which equates to around 40 per day.
According to the latest data, in 2024, adults accounted for 70% of the victims and 55% of all offenders. Nearly 19% of this form of conflict is a result of family violence, and 20% of stabbings were committed by a young person, with 11% involving a youth gang member.
So you see, the knife crime is big everywhere, unfortunately. And even down here in Australia, we get a lot of knife-related murders and stabbings and things like that. Like, I just have to ask, like, what is that giant freaking thing? Hold on, where is it? Like, who needs a knife like this? Where is it? I want to show it to you. Like this thing with the red handle in the middle. Let me see if I can... You see the one with the red handle right in the middle there? The F is that? And why the hell would you need that? Like, what does it do? What are you doing? Like, you can't... What are you going to hunt with that? Apparently, it's called a zombie knife. Like, what are you doing with that exactly? Are you, like, hunting dead people? Like, what is this? Like, some sort of LARP, except the weapons are real? I don't get it why you would need to carry this weird looking knife that is basically for probably cutting someone's head off. Bizarre. Yeah, they samurai swords. We had a very famous murder down here that happened a number of years ago. A brother killed his brother with a samurai sword. I think another guy was killed with a samurai sword last year down here. Happens more than you think. Hold on. Yeah, Jonathan Dick. So Jonathan Dick, there's a story about him. If you've never watched the documentary about him and his story, you have to watch it. It is insane, the things that he did after this. So I'll show you the video after he was found guilty of reason by mental impairment. But his reign of terror was intense.
He killed his brother with a samurai sword, but Jonathan Dick was today found not guilty by reason of mental impairment. A former childhood friend is furious at the court's decision.
Armed with a samurai sword and deadly delusions, Jonathan Dick attacked his brother David as he stepped out of an elevator. He chose a method of killing his brother that he thought would be effective and quick. Believing he would be transported to the future, Jonathan Dick left his younger sibling to bleed to death at the Doncaster shopping centre, then disappeared for a year, until he attacked his childhood friend David Camerata with a pick hammer in Keilor. Australia's most wanted man had been best man at David's wedding years earlier.
We'll give them a round of applause if you'd like.
Only to be confronted by Jonathan Dick again in a city car park last August. The father of three helped capture the fugitive. But David Camerata says he's been denied justice. The Supreme Court finding Jonathan Dick not guilty by reason of mental impairment. In a statement, Mr. Camerata says, "We are beyond disappointed. He is guilty of the crimes, however, not responsible for them." Diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, the court accepts the 42-year-old didn't know he was doing anything wrong. It's likely Jonathan Dick will be placed on a supervision order in a psychiatric hospital. His mental state has improved while in custody, and he now reports feeling dreadful for taking his brother's life.
There you go. Just a sample of a guy who killed his brother with a samurai sword in Victoria. He also tried to attack a friend with a hammer outside of his home. And when he was arrested in that footage that you see, he was actually stalking another person And it was a work friend of that person who actually was like, oh my God, they're here at the car park, because they were all aware of it. And his friend, his work friend, actually saved his life by saying, like, I saw him in the car park, and they were actually able to detain him and get him arrested. He'd actually been on the run for a period of time after killing his brother, but he had planned to kill someone else. But yeah, found not guilty by reason of mental impairment, because he is a paranoid schizophrenic. As you heard, he thought if he killed his brother, he would be transported to the future. Yes, the future. The future in jail, a psychiatric hospital? I don't know, but apparently that's what he thought. Rachel said, I remember this story. Hopefully they keep him in hospital. Hopefully. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. No, I don't think we will release him. You can go be friends with him though. You can go and have ciggy breaks with him at the mental ward. I Hate Morning says, we have a tool library where you borrow tools. We were chopping down some berry bushes and I was surprised no one looked twice at me carrying a machete on my way back home. They're probably like, nope, she's off to commit a hit. She's off to commit a crime. That's fine. Just let her. Jojo said he was paranoid about being arrested. This guy knew how to run. Yeah, he did. Wow, I don't think so. All right. Let me see if I have any other stories for you tonight. It's been an action-packed day. We've had solves in different cases. We've had updates in other ones. We've had crazy updates, including, Taylor Spears, one that is very sad if that is true. I hope that's not what happened. I hope no one moved her there after like a month. That'd be awful. The other reality is still pretty bad, but I hope no one did that to her. All right, let me see. All right, one more very quick, and then we got to go. It's Christina Formella. If I can get this to load. I don't think I can use that one. Yes. Okay.
That teacher was arrested during a traffic stop yesterday, more than a year after the alleged sexual assault, which prosecutors say came to light after sexually explicit text messages were discovered.
We are heartbroken for the victim and also for the hundreds of students, staff, and family who trusted this teacher and feel betrayed by this terrible situation.
This meeting of the Community High School District 99 School Board comes hours after Downers Grove South notified families of a teacher's arrest. 30-year-old Christina Formella, a special services teacher and boys and girls soccer coach, has been charged with aggravated criminal sexual assault and abuse of a then 15-year-old male student, prosecutors say, in December 2023 during a tutoring session before school.
Our top focus now is to support the victim and their family and to ensure the well-being and safety of all of our students.
Though the alleged assault happened 15 months ago, authorities say the student and his mother reported the incident to police this past Saturday, after prosecutors say that mother bought her son a new iPhone, and after signing into iCloud, discovered a sexually explicit text thread. The exchanges, too graphic for us to show, are detailed in this petition filed by DuPage County prosecutors that sought pretrial detention for Formella, that request denied by a judge. School officials say they're now working to contact families of other students who had direct contact with Formella.
We will continue to address this situation with urgency and transparency. We are committed to protecting our students and ensuring that they feel safe.
Formella, who has worked for Downers Grove South since 2020, has been placed on administrative leave with pay and did not return our message requesting comment. A judge ordered her to stay away from the school and have no contact with anyone under 18.
I'm not sure what's wrong with some of these women that we keep hearing about that are sexually or essaying their students, especially this one. One of them had an intellectual disability, and she preyed on him too. Like, what is going on? It seems like we hear more and more about these women that are being done with sexual crimes, especially in a position of power like a teacher. And I don't know if it's just like, again, we never heard about it before because people used to trust women a lot more than men, so used to get away with it a lot more. But in these day and age, it's very like, anything to do with children is considered equal or should be. And we're seeing a lot more arrests for things that maybe flew under the radar in years prior. But yes, I will show you that one out of KSAT. By the way, I wanted to thank Deborah L, Laura T, and JDR for helping with the trial costs. Same with Nicole, Nick, my friend Nick. Thank you very much to the four of you, all of you. That really, really helps. I appreciate it. We're definitely gearing up for it. It's going to be a long trial, I think. I can't wait to get there. Couple of weeks away. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting a little nervous. It's going to be an interesting 2 weeks. All right. This one then I got to get out of here. Dashcam captures moments before arrest in San Antonio Amber Alert. Scott Young, remember him? Scott Young was arrested in Oklahoma City, according to the DPS. Now, he had Caudry Grant and Aspen Johnson. Do you remember that one? That was Scott Young and Lee Sanford were wanted in connection with the children's disappearance, according to the DPS. Young also had an active warrant. Investigators said Young and Sanford left in separate cars and had a child with them. Let's watch the video about it. I want to see so this was the Amber Alert from the weekend or Monday that we covered. And this is the aftermath when they figured it all out.
Let me let them know what's going on, but you have the two that I'm out with.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Right here. I've got their IDs. We're not getting hit on our side. Yeah, it's at a hospital. Going on. I had our dispatcher stop at yours. Yeah. Because I didn't know. I didn't want to put the handcuffs until for sure I knew that's what was going on. Well,
I'd say we detain him until we figure it out.
this guy. So it's this guy right here. Yes, and the driver. Let's do it. Okay. All right.
I didn't do anything. I've been fighting this forever. I'm a Marine. You guys are doing. Oh, what the? What the? I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
So just stand right there. Oh.
So that was Scott Young being arrested over that Amber Alert. So that was the one we had the other day. Glad that got done quickly. We were wondering, like, why was this Amber Alert? What was the connection between people? So it was Caudry Grant, she's 11, and Aspen Johnson, she's 1. And they were found April 1 near Oklahoma City after that Amber Alert was made public. They said a OHP, Oklahoma Highway Patrol, said a trooper saw one of the cars involved in the Amber Alert at a gas station off I-35 in Oklahoma City, about 8 hours north of San Antonio. The trooper approached the driver in the parking lot and took him into custody after he failed to comply. While OHP did not identify Young in their post, DPS said Young was arrested by an Oklahoma trooper. OHP said the trooper learned Young had an active warrant for child M-word, this word right here, and had assaulted a child, a CPS worker. So he assaulted a CPS worker in Texas. A rifle and pistol were also found in his vehicle. So did they find both of them? Where is Lee Sanford? Did they find Lee? Doesn't say. Lee Sanford. I don't know. That's very strange, but it does say the Amber Alert was discontinued. So they're also searching for... Don't know. It just says that he was arrested, but I don't have anything on the woman. Let's see. Let's go back to this article. It just says that they arrested Scott Young. But that they did find both the children. So maybe she was also at the gas station as well. Glad they found the two little kids though. Carolina says, I'm so late, I'll have to go back and rewatch with the replay crew. Okay, I'm glad you will do that. I'm glad you'll do that. Let's see. Yeah, so this was the Amber Alert from earlier in the week, if you watched that show. So I don't know about her or why she wasn't detained, arrested, or whatever, but Scott Young, he's the one you saw in that body cam footage. And there's the two little children who were located safe and sound, apparently. So that is good news. All right, my friends, I'm going to get out of here this Friday afternoon, Friday evening, just about Friday evening here in Australia. And I have to go do normal people things, not true crime things. I have to go do normal people things. But hey, I really appreciate it. If you want to help with the trial, I would appreciate it. The links are under the video. You can do that if you want. You don't have to. The videos are always free. We don't put any paywalls up for any content on this channel. But if you want to, you can, and that would be appreciated. Other than that, I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I have to go do the normal adult things, people things that adults do, you know, adulting stuff, stuff that adults do, stuff that someone named Shanana might do, you know. If you watched the show last night on Web Sleuths, we're now going to call Insightful One Shanana. I think that's a great name. She should name one of her children that as well. Shanana Jr. I think it's a lovely name for a young girl. And we'll be back tomorrow. Watch a bit of footy. No, there's no football. There's no NFL on right now. It's over till September. Glitter says, I guess it's things that I probably don't do. No, I just got a meeting that I have to go to. And then tomorrow we've got 2 more meetings that we have to do before the show. So just background things for the channel. Carolina says, yeah, I will. I'll stay safe out there. Hey, if I find anything interesting, I'm going to a place today. Actually, I'll tell you. I'm going to a place that is the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. And if anything cool happens there, I will make a live stream and come on and talk to you. But I doubt it. I was there on Monday. I was there on Monday night. Nothing interesting happened. But tonight is late night shopping in Victoria. So all the shops are open late on a Friday night down here. So they open till about 9 p.m. So maybe something fun will happen. We'll see. No real footy. I don't watch Australian footy. Kathy Lynch says my Frenchie is already asleep. I hope she's nice and warm, and I hope you don't get any more storms in Tennessee. Hope everyone gets a break from the thunderstorms. Although tomorrow is a storm day too. Hopefully it's not as bad as the other one. Actually, just before I go, let me check here. They did do the update for Friday. Let's have a quick look. What is it? Is this the one for Friday? Tornado risk 5%. Okay, well, That's not that good. For Nashville, Memphis. So if you're in Tennessee, maybe. That's for Friday. Okay, let's go to Convective Outlook. It looks like Saturdays. Is this for Saturday? Let's go to day 1. And then day 2. I don't know. 15%. I hope that tomorrow is less. I don't know why. Sometimes it jumps around like this. It's saying only a 5% risk for tornado. Valid Friday. So this is for Friday. What's in day 2 for? Friday to Saturday. Friday 20. Okay, so maybe it's this one. I hope it's not this. I hope this is not for Friday. I hope this is day 2. 15% hatched area. I hope that's not for tomorrow, because that's going to be an interesting day. But keep safe out there, especially if you're in this area, this little like blob that stretches like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 different states in the east. Keep safe out there. Watch out for the tornadoes. No, Tornado Alley has not moved. Tornado Alley is a later in the season, and that is your sort of like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, somewhat into Colorado and a couple of other places, and it's more further west. Early in the season is in the deep south. So you have the first storm season always happens further to the east. You get more in like Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, all those type of places. That is always early in the season. Then it moves west, and you get your traditional Tornado Alley. That goes until about late May, early June, and then from late June through summer, it moves north, and you get it throughout like the Dakotas, Canada, Illinois, some other places. So you actually have 3 different tornado seasons in the year as they migrate throughout the USA. So this is just the early tornado season, even though it is stretching into April already. But this is the traditional early season tornado, what we get every year. So hasn't moved. It's just a different part of the country. All right. I love you all. I'll be back. Don't hope you get no tornadoes tomorrow. No tornadoes. We don't need any more EF4s, EF5s. I think we've had enough for 1 week. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Love you all. Good night. Bye. Have a great Friday out there. See you later. Bye.